Hi and welcome to this chess channel. Thank you for visiting. Today I wish to speak to you about a very important subject, and my weakness is that I probably have already mentioned about this in chess. The particular subject that I wish to bring to you today in this short lecture on chess is the word chess weaknesses. In your case, just weakness, I hope. But in my case, weaknesses. Now, what are some of my weaknesses? One of my weaknesses is to go back. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going back to where I took my piece from. I'm moving it back. And my mentor, who is the reason why I bring this chess channel primarily to this YouTube thing, was mentioning this to me a few times. He says, "Why do you go back, David?" And just recently, I've been playing some chess, of course, and I've noticed that I'm still doing it. Another weakness of mine, because I hope you've got none, but if you've got none, then maybe your weakness might be confidence. Okay? Maybe your weakness might be overconfidence, but unless you're a grandmaster, of course, you might be a FIDE master or international master, but you're still going to be presented with these things called weaknesses in chess, or weakness in this case for you. Often I have to keep trying to nip my weaknesses in the bud. But at the board, things happen. One of my weaknesses can be impetuism. I go, what? Whoa, that looks good. Yank. All of a sudden, my position is crumbling because I've went snap, like just being caught in a trap. Now, a trap needs to be set generally, but now there are opening traps and book traps and that sort of thing. So they're already being set. So all one needs to know is, what is this particular line? So another one, like impetuism for me, is reactional. Is to be reactional. And then we've got all the things like clock. Clock can be a weakness. I often forget the clock. Even though I'm quite reasonable at speed chess, I sometimes even forget the chess clock. And it's so easy to do. One of the other ones is I don't often spot the obvious. So because I know these things about my play, without going on about too many more weaknesses that I've got, because I've got quite a lot, without going on about my, I was saying something there, but I'm not going to do an outtake, but one of the weaknesses I've got is seeing the obvious. Now I can see a really, really good move, yeah? But sometimes I can't see the obvious. Now, that's why I'm using the image of the tornado in the background, because I can be having a tornado happening all around me, okay, and not even notice it. So that is very important in chess, to know your weakness for you in chess. And so if we know our weakness, then we can acknowledge it. Excuse me. Just a bit of the coffee. I've got my coffee here still. So to know our weakness in chess, or weaknesses in my case, in chess, is very important, because then you are able to pull back the reins on it when it's happening. So that when you're noticing that, for me, I'm almost going to blunder my bishop again in the king's gambit for white, or something like that. So if I'm aware of that, then it's sort of like a conscious effort on my part, in most cases, out of 10, to get it right. But there are strengths, of course, that one has, but weaknesses are very important to focus and concentrate on, especially blunders and reactional impetuism, going backwards, and that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed this week's session on chess. No playing, because we need to think about chess. It's not just a game. We need to also think about the concepts and principles and ideas, and we need to get to a stage where I'm doing this all mostly impromptu. So we need to get to a stage where we're actually, what am I saying? I don't know. I want to say also materialism can be a problem for me, and of course blunders, everyone. But one of the big weaknesses that I know that I had was that if I've just lost that game last round, I was easy meat for my opponent in the next game, because I'd just be concentrating and thinking about that game. So, and another one to watch out for is to think about the result of the tournament before you start. No, don't do it, because unless your bread and butter is dependent on this, do not think about the end result. Play chess and enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed this wee short video, and all the best with your chess, no matter where it's at, and primarily try to enjoy.